Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and the final major update for Wilds. I'm going to refer to it for this video as Title Update 4.5 since it's a pretty solid update for what was on paper just kind of an 18-month release. But since there's a lot more going on here, there's a lot to cover, like all the new features, little useful details and more, so let's just begin. Anyway, first up, the big one, Arch-Tempered Arkveld here. It's here as an event quest, Freedom from Solitude, 10 stars. You will need to have Hunter rank 100 or higher to actually access this, but that's pretty much it. Be aware that there will be a free challenge version of this quest coming out on March 18th. But until then, this is how you're going to access the Arch-Tempered Arkveld, this event quest. Although I will say there's a new optional quest if you access it via Proof of the Hero, where Arkveld as Arch-Tempered will be available in the Wounded Hollow, the arena. You just have to deal with, 4 Arch-Tempered monsters in one hunt. Or you can just take on, 80 Arkveld on his own, and you'll find this quest in, of course, wyveria. You're going to find that this quest is particularly valuable, like the new 10-star 80 targets, because they reward time 1 charms and battle-tempered emblems. Time 1 charms convert into random talismans, but the base rarity odds are higher, so rarity 7 and 8 are what you're going to get in plenty. You can actually pull multiple rarity 8 talismans a run pretty consistently, so I think this should be a game changer for getting better rolls and setups if that's what you need. Meanwhile, the battle tempered emblems are just a high value ticket you can use for different things. So for example, you can use it to reinforce Gogma artian weapons. That's great for that RNG system, so let's just show you a quick example. And these emblems are worth 3,000 points each, like a dragon gem, so it's pretty incredible. You'll now be able to use them as well to smell armor spheres, which is a great option to go for. So for your heavy armor spheres, it's also worth 1,500 points in this context. Next, a really important highlight are new upgrades for crafted talismans. This is a big deal. You have level 3 exploiter charm, 3 levels of weakness exploit on 1 talisman. And of course, level 3 flayer. Maybe a bit less exciting than the exploiter charm level 3, but there it is. Of course, we also have the new gamma set, which is pretty incredible. Weakness exploit, flayer, convert element, and element absorption all in one set with its own bonus skills, so obviously haste and recovery, and then you're getting guts tenacity again because it is a gamma set. Individually, these pieces are insane. 3 levels of weakness exploit with reasonable slots and a helmet. The chest piece has all levels of convert element and decent slots there. The gloves are insane, like 2 levels of flair, 2 levels of weakness exploit. These are things you'd need a 3 slot decoration slot to get 1 level of. So yeah, pretty amazing. The waist isn't bad either. You could even argue the boots are one of the worst slots, and it's a 3-3 with 2 levels of flair. So obviously strong set. It's about time they do something like this. It makes sense. And I mean, visually, the default set itself looks incredible, so I'm definitely going to be updating once I get this all unlocked. So yeah, outside of 80 Arkveld, we have the other permanent event quests. We have 80 Raidao or Duna, udra, and of course dahaad as easy options. And as their rewards show, heavy armor spheres, battle-tempered emblems, and the time 1 charms, these are going to be good targets for that long-term grind. It doesn't seem like they have like extra chances on the rarer parts though. So if you're going for that, maybe just hunt normal versions. On top of that, for new quests, we also have optional quests. You had the advanced quests from before, the 9-star tempered monsters. 3 of them you hunt in 1 location in each region. Once you've done all 3 of these, that's when you'll get access to Proof of a Hero. So at the update, if you've already done that, or once you've done that, you'll have Alma want to speak with you, which is what unlocks this quest. And as I highlighted earlier, it's in the arena. It's 4 arch-tempered monsters in 1 hunt, including Arkveld at the end there. I haven't done this myself yet, but it is a 50-minute hunt with 3 carts possible, so it should be a challenge. Josh sent me a screenshot to show me the title background that you unlock by doing this, and I would say that's well worth it. That is incredible. Alright, let's talk about the incredible greatsword on my back, and also a new pendant that's really fun. In fact, there's a bunch of new pendants in this update to talk about. But let's start with Shatterseal, the greatsword. To access it then you'll do this new event quest, Every Hunter's Dream, which is a bit silly, bunch of tempered monsters, 4 Cumatrice and a Mizu. It's in the arena, it's absolutely chaotic, but it's a bit of fun. And you get this new reward, Master Craftsman Blueprint, to unlock the new weapon. You actually will probably need to do it a few times though, because you need a total of 3 of those tickets to get Shatterseal completely and upgraded. By doing it the first time though, you will get the Meat Emergency Pendant, so here's a look at that. It's obviously from the Cumatrice intro cinematic. It is fantastic. 3 little palico carrying this huge piece of meat, chasing you around. It's hilarious. That was the other sort of community event reward there. But obviously the main event here is shatterseal, which as you can see has 3 level 3 decoration slots, this pile of white sharpness, it's mainly that, and it comes with shattering reflection, alongside 3 levels of focus. Shattering reflection is what causes that cool VFX with the kind of air breaking. The visuals and sound effects for that effect are great, but as you can see, the sword solidifies as you charge it up, fully solidifying at 3 levels of charge, and when it lands a blow against a target, that's when that shattering effect happens. So if you're swinging into nothing, it doesn't actually do it, you have to hit a target. There's only those level 3 attacks that do it. Every other attack that I was messing around with didn't trigger the effect. Either way, pretty impressive weapon visually, even if you're just using it as a cosmetic. But Josh is going to take a real look at this and talk about its relevance soon. Okay, so obviously another part of this update is the anniversary event. The festival accord is going on again. We've got the whole blossom dance for spring going on right now, but that's not the only one. For now, we have this week of blossom dance. Then the next week, we're going to have flame fate. Then the week after that, we're going to have dream spell. And the week after that, lumen hymn. During these weeks, the relative events and rewards, cosmetics, whatever, everything will be back again. So if you missed any during the last year of Wilds, now's your chance to get it. So don't miss that. There's also, just for logging in, a Hunter Appreciation Pack to claim. It's found in your daily login reward page, so just grab it. It's a solid pile of Mega Demon Drug, Armor Skin, Demon Powder, Dash Juice, Armor Spheres, or even some gold Relic and Talisman tickets for melding, so very nice. New quest lines exist. There's the collab one to do, of course, with stories. This is a royal request. Go to the Scarlet Forest base camp, and as long as you're Hunter rank 9 or higher, it'll be there. I reckon you will be. Either way, in that quest, you need to grab 4 different Monsty eggs and bring them to a camp. So it's a good idea to set up some pop-up camp locations in a relevant place everywhere around Scarlet Forest. And if you're going to do this quest, I actually recommend a set with something like Tool Specialist and everything else relevant, so you can use your Ghillie Mantle longer or more often rather. And it's fun to see these eggs. There's a bunch of different kinds: Chatacabra, Gravios, the very cool Ray Dow egg. The reward here is the Royal Feline Emblem. You can bring that to a smithy and that'll allow you to craft the Rudy Palico outfit if you want that. Just by doing the quest though, you get the Chatacabra pendant, which is a bit ridiculous, and some new nameplates, titles, backgrounds, and pose for your hunter profile, which to be fair look great. And when you finish the quest properly by speaking with Rudy again, that's when you get the Ratha pendant, which also is pretty fantastic, having a little Rathalos fly around with you. And obviously it's the Ratha from stories. On the other hand, there's a little quest chain to get Nadia's armor set, available if you first completed Ghost Pay No Heed to Tomorrow before this event. But anyway, you find Nadia and Mina in the Iceshard Cliffs base camp. They'll give you an optional quest, Frenzy Obscured, with 5 frenzied monsters in one hunt to do. Not too bad. Once that's done, you'll get some armor spheres, which isn't terrible. But you'll also get some conversation with Nadia in the camp, where to be honest, the dialogue is pretty good, referencing the insane potential eating habits of hunters. Nadia's pretty smart here. There's a lot of subtle conversation going on. But then she'll give you this new optional quest, Corruption's Culmination, which is a 5-star tempered gore to hunt, with her helping you. When you've beat that, that's when you're going to unlock Nadia's armor set. So here it is, not the best looking on my character with this colouring. And it's not the most exciting set, but it's not terrible either, with some relevantly decent slots on it, and some relevant skills like Burst, but nothing as crazy as what we saw with Arch-Tempered Arkveld, obviously. Probably the most interesting part of it though is the set bonus. It's obviously not a gore armor piece, and yet it has the set bonus as if it is. But with the gore Artian meta allowing us to get this on our weapon, that's another impact here. At very least, it'll be cosmetically relevant for plenty of people, I'm sure. So if you want to get it, that's how it's done. One set that's missing from the game that you might be wondering about is the Gala suit set. That is not in the game yet, it's actually coming to the game soon. It's dropping on the 28th for the anniversary event for Wilds. So we'll get that from the event quest at the time. Razzle Dazzle Frazzle is its name, so you won't miss it. Alright, let's blast some other new base features that they added. For example, the melding pot has had an update for Gogma materials. So speak with Melder, obviously in Suja, and you go to meld relics. Now you can see the mutated armaments option. So as you can see, we meld different kinds of the Gogma Artian uses, just as another way to access them on top of what we already had, so it's definitely a nice addition. Here's a fun one. When you go to the ingredient center to collect your rations, they now give you something useful after this update. You might get a random ingredient here or there for your cooking purposes, instead of just infinite rations you just don't need. So that's a great update finally happening. Now, you may have noticed with the collab with obviously stories, they increased the max number of pop-up camps in Windward Plains, Scarlet Forest, and oilwell basin. To manage this, you can just talk up to any pop-up camp guy, or just go to the support desk, and from there you can easily just manage your pop-up camps and place them where you want, which is what I did before I played as soon as I downloaded the update. The only requirement is the assignment germination, which I think is Zoshia. Either way, you probably got that done. Here's a fun one. Barrel bowling is a lot better. So it's faster and you can get more from it at once. So instead of being locked in and waiting for the results, you can now retry a lot quicker, which is good. You can throw the second barrel a lot faster when you're mid-game, and you can now choose to use 10 vouchers at once to get the amount of rewards at once, which is so much better. They also mentioned something to do with the barrel bombs with the blossom barrel. If you remember, the different seasonal event barrels were all unique. Like there's some like bouncy summer ball ones, for example. The blossom barrels were pretty tame, just pink. Now they have their own physics and uniqueness. But yeah, barrel bowling, a lot better. In regards to system updates, we obviously had some big performance updates. Continuing on from what's happened in Title Update 4 so far, this time we had more reduced CPU and GPU processing. They've optimized monster and endemic spawns. They've added effect caching for duplicate effects, optimized rendering processes for both CPU and GPU load, and there's in general a lot of minor adjustments, as they say, for overall load. So we should feel improvements once again. And in regards to some quick quality of life mentions, there's a big update for your event quests. There's new 9-star event quests like White Wonder here, Ultimate Berserker, Monkey King, Sovereign Brute, and there goes the Neighborhood. And they say that all 29 event quests that gave you some sort of unique material, you know, the ones only available for a certain time for a special reward, they're all here now permanently. Nice one for SOS hunting. There's now a refresh button when you're searching for some sort of SOS flare. If you want to use the quick access thing for your last quest played, it'll also take you to the departure point of the last one you chose if you did change it from the base one. They've added a shortcut button for the purpose of this, going between upgrading from box and transcending. So here I am in upgrade from box, I can now press left stick in to swap to transcending. Pretty convenient. Here's a hilarious one. They fixed an issue where support hunters would stop to carve gogmazios' severed tail during the quest. So they were like accidentally working like real hunters in online play, because as soon as you cut off a tail, doesn't matter the context, these people go and carve the tail and maybe car or something. So apparently that was a bug and they'll stop doing that, but I kind of think it's funny and they should have kept it. But yeah, there you have it. That's my overview of this patch. Title Update 4.5 as it were, and I think that's pretty solid. It is a shame we didn't get any, say, bonus weapon changes, but it's not like they told us they were doing that. We just had a bit of copium. And of course, we're going to get plenty of weapon stuff in the expansion. They already made great changes throughout the history of Wilds. But all the stuff, the collab stuff, arkveld himself is actually incredible, way better than I expected. Plenty of updated systems and quality of life. And obviously the shatterseal greatsword's insane. Maybe one day a different weapon will get something as cool as that. But if you did enjoy the video, do drop a like, and we'll be covering everything for Title Update 4.5 in the coming days. But until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.